Live on this Tuesday, the 23rd of July, 2024. Hope you're having a great day. We're continuing our study of famous, well-known stories from the Old Testament. Today, we're up to Exodus chapter 3, and we're looking at the section where Moses is confronted by the Lord at the burning bush. Kind of a long section, but it's a great section. We're going to take a look at this a few verses at a time and then kind of break it down. Verse 1 of chapter 3 of the book of Exodus reads, "And one day Moses was tending the flock of his father-in-law Jethro, the priest of Midian. He led the flock far into the wilderness and came to Sinai, the mountain of God. There the angel of the Lord appeared to him in a blazing fire from the middle of a bush. Moses stared in amazement. Though the bush was engulfed in flames, it didn't burn up. 'This is amazing,' Moses said to himself. 'Why isn't that bush burning up? I must go see it.' When the Lord saw Moses coming to take a closer look, God called to him from the middle of the bush, 'Moses, Moses.' 'Here I am,' Moses replied. 'Do not come any closer,' the Lord warned. 'Take off your sandals, for you are standing on holy ground. I am the God of your father, the God of Abraham, the God of Isaac, and the God of Jacob.' When Moses heard this, he covered his face because he was afraid to look at God." Now, these first 6 verses talk about a confrontation. It's an encounter that Moses has with God Almighty himself. He sees him in the burning bush, and he covers his face once he realizes who it is because he's afraid to look at God. This has got to be one of the most impactful things that ever happened in the life of Moses, because he even asked to see God later. He knew what a great thing it was and wanted to see it again. He had seen him once, and each time he knew he was afraid. But after a while of walking with God and hearing from God, Moses felt like maybe, just maybe, I can handle it. I want to see you, God. I want to see you. As we know, all that he could let Moses do on the Mount of Sinai was to let him see the backside of God, and he covered him up with his hand as he walked through the area so that he wouldn't die. And even then, his face was lit up for days after that, and he had to wear a veil because the people were afraid of him. God's presence is awesome, and Moses got to see God's presence straight up here in Moses chapter 3, verses 1 through 6. Let's go on just a little further. "Then the Lord told him, 'I have certainly seen the oppression of my people in Egypt. I have heard their cries of distress because of their harsh slave drivers. Yes, I am aware of their suffering. So I have come down to rescue them from the power of the Egyptians and lead them out of Egypt into their own fertile and spacious land. It is a land flowing with milk and honey, the land where the Canaanites, Hittites, Amorites, Perizzites, Hivites, and Jebusites now live. Look, the cry of the people of Israel has reached me, and I have seen how harshly the Egyptians abuse them. Now go, for I am sending you to Pharaoh. You must lead my people, Israel, out of Egypt.'" So Moses sees God in a burning bush that will not burn up. Moses hears the voice of God. He realizes it is God and is afraid and hides his face because he knows he can't look upon God. Moses is impacted desperately in this situation, and he has actually seen God. And then God talks to him, carries on a conversation. He says, "My people have been in bondage too long. Their taskmasters are far too hard on them. I've got to deliver them, and I'm going to deliver them. I just need you to do my bidding and help me see the children of Israel delivered from this harsh regime in Egypt." We're going to find out tomorrow that Moses had some qualms. He had some uncertainty about it. But the bottom line is God calls those that he knows can do the work. Now, he may not call everybody to do everything, but he'll call you for what you can handle. And if God actually calls you, whatever he calls you to, he'll equip you to do. And that's the word for today. Can't call your names today. This is pre-recorded. I'm going to be tied up at 5 today. But it is so good to have you with us, and I am thankful for you. Whether you watch at 5 or any other time of the day or night, it's always our honor and privilege to have you with us. So come on every day, Sunday through Friday at 5 p.m. and see live at 5. We love you. We're praying for you. Spend time with God every day. It's the best thing you'll do all day long, and it'll make a difference in your life. I believe that with all my heart. We'll see you tomorrow for Live